has been made in Canadian basketball. One hand down, all over the defense.
One-hand talkback.
Oh! Bringing the fans to their feet, putting a man in the rim. Ain't that awesome? Oh my Lord!
Welcome to the NPA on NPH.
Are back. Welcome to the nation's capital. Tarek and Elias Bate with you, the NPH bros in action here, and so are SJK out of Waterloo, Ontario, taking on Nova Scotia's Halifax Prep. We've been through a bunch of really good games, and I think the story so far, Elias, has been the Crestwood Lions making their mark here in Ottawa.
Out of all the new teams, Tarek, that are entering the league this year in their inaugural season, Crestwood is the most powerful so far, up until we see St. Laurent. That is another team that we feel is going to be very formidable. They got the core of Ben Datro and Trayvon Minot, as well as some others that we're not quite familiar with yet. However, up to this point, Crestwood playing some hockey lineups and able to do that because of their depth. They're looking very strong in the early going.
Something to note, Ben Datro and Gideon, the St. Laurent Express's leading scorers, are currently out due to injury. Nice
come on. Why
triple
you
there by Giorgio. That's what I said to Coach Sullivan. I'm like, what's next? He's going to tell me the big fella's hurt? No, the big fella will be there, and they play next against GTA Prep. The matchup, the marquee matchup is going to be the Casey Azagu, a top 10 player in the country in the 2018 class, versus Trayvon Minot, who's definitely a top 10, top 5 big man, and arguably the best big man in the country in that class, as far as we see it. Many people don't know about this kid yet, so that's what we're excited about, is getting a chance for people to see him. We talked to him, he's like the Quebec version of Jaden Bediako, who national team member, plays for Ridley College and is out of Brampton. 5'3" early on. Jaron Johnson has been the talk of the town for Halifax Prep. Picked up his first college offer, Eastern Florida, as Brandon Muntu knocks down the triple. Calgary import, doing his thing.
Brandon Muntu had himself a quiet start here for session 1, but it seems like the energy's changed entirely.
Well, he's been quietly producing, not so much, you know, in big explosive offensive outputs, but he's filling the stat sheet, rebounds, assists. He's in the passing lanes. He just does a lot for the team, and he's got a high character. Strong intangibles for that kid. Here's Cairo Berry. Johnson for 3. No good there. This is an interesting matchup. You know, I think teams match up fairly well, as both of them, you know, got some players that can get the ball in the basket, but not a lot of depth for each team. Here's Johnson.
Jaron Johnson, Tarks, for me, has been one of the more impressive point guards here. Just his passing touch and his vision. You know, the shot needs a little bit of work in terms of its form, but the way that he creates for his teammates is already next level.
No question, he's got the feel for the game. He can really pass that ball, but he can also score it as well. But I think the biggest, you know, X factor for him is his toughness. You know, last game against GTA Prep, he goes up and blocks the big fella from behind, Casey Azagu. I mean, that shows a lot of grit.
Halifax Prep is really into it. High energy across the board, both from the bench and all 5 on the floor right now, creating a lot of pressure. Almost got SJK to turn that one over again.
You know where you should be. Here!
SJK's Ahmed Al-Usta really laying it on Branko Damjanovic.
Their top producer, making sure it gets that tough love.
And Tarek, this is something that I've seen that's common across the board. All the coaches have zero issues holding their top guys accountable, and when you do that, it spreads all across to the rest of the team.
Absolutely.
If you could do that to the top guy, then anybody should be able to zip it and listen when it's time to. Love the accountability.
Here's Damjanovic to Jimmy. Baseline. Nothing there. Guys getting themselves caught up in tough positions.
Julius
Johnson.
McGee on the handle to Johnson.
Damjanovic on the attack all the way to the rim, and it's going to count for the three-point play. You know, he's an interesting player in that he's not the fastest guy. He doesn't jump out of the gym. He's not the tallest guy, but he gets it done.
He's just a ball player, man. He knows how to score. He's smart, and he can shoot the three extremely well. Him and Okai Jamgos in the first game of the season had a shootout of their own in London.
Alex Nocic checks out. Damjanovic knocks down the free throw, give his team a 2-point lead, 10-8, 6:22 left in the first quarter. Tough take by Barry, he's able to draw some contact, and he'll get to the line. You know, a miniature point guard like that, you know, he's got some quicks to him. He's got some good intangibles. I tell, you know, the smaller point guards all the time to get to the next level. It's a smaller window because of the physical disadvantages. However, you know, one thing that be able to take it to the next level is being able to spread that floor. Having a rocket launcher of a shot to be able to get defenders off their feet and make magic when it's time as far as penetration goes.
Here's Muntu, stop and pop from mid-range, a little off balance, and had Milan in his grill.
There's been a lot of high-flying action, a lot of highlights. Be sure to check it out on our social media at North Pole Hoops. Man, we've seen guys like Jacoby Neath, AJ Lawson, Raheem Sullivan, different guys stepping up for their teams in big moments. Nice bounce pass right there by Jaron Johnson. Beautiful bounce pass from half court. We talked about his passing ability, at least. I think he's got the best vision that I've seen in this event.
Yes, sir, he does. He needs guys. Bang! And the shot. He just needs guys around him that can get it done.
That will lead into an SJK timeout thanks to Jaron Johnson cooking in Ottawa.
Yet again, a 10-point advantage restored for Team Blue. Oh! It's Judy Georges throwing it down!
Welcome to the NPH live broadcasting experience. Allow our team of video technicians to capture your event in high definition. Streaming directly on all NPH media platforms. Up-to-the-minute live game coverage featuring professional commentators and analysts.
Tip in! No good! 2 seconds to go! Oh!
Commercial spots available to promote and market your brand, event, or product. Enjoy the ultimate way to catch the game when you can't.
That man from Quebec can fly!
Exposure starts.
NPH Events. there's an opportunity to get involved at the ground level. NPH hosts elite level high school tournaments to national club team championships throughout the course of the season. Now is your chance to get involved with the fastest growing sport in Canada with the industry leaders and influencers. Get in the game today and join NPH in growing basketball in this country.
Out of the timeout, we got some full court pressure from Halifax Prep. SJK looking to make some adjustments. Nice attack right there. It was clear strategy. Get the ball to Milan Roknic, who's been more quiet than I'd like. I mean, I'd love to see Roknic take the bull by the horns and get aggressive offensively.
I just feel like he's one of those guys when stuff's not going his way, he kind of shuts down. He turns it off, and he's good enough that he's skilled. He's good enough that he should be competing.
Skilled. Absolutely,
he should be competing no matter what the score is.
Johnson, bang.
That is a weird form, but it goes. He gets it to go.
Austin Rivers had a weird form. Sean Marion has a weird form. Lonzo Ball, which is not a good example because he's shooting terribly from the field, but he's also in the NBA, has a weak form. So, you know, I think it's not slow. It's just not straight, but it gets it done regardless.
No, he's getting them to fall, so I'm not hating on that at all.
What I love about Johnson is Roknic, I guess he heard us here on the stream, knocks down back-to-back buckets. You know what I love about Johnson, Elias, is you look at his eyes, and we talk about that all the time. Eyes never lie, and you never see him rattled. You never see him too high or too low. He's always very composed and very serious.
You're right about that.
Jimmy on the attack. Nice pick by Cairo Berry. Attacks all the way for the finger roll. Is good. Cairo Berry having himself a good start to this game. Engaged, defending. Nice block there by Tony. Ryan Tony comes from the weak side help. Oh, Johnson just slipped right off his fingers. And it will be SJK basketball.
And going back to Jaren Johnson here, he's got a frame that suggests that, you know, once the manpower starts to pack on and he beefs up a little bit, he's gonna be a true force. He's already got a good amount of muscle mass on him for a 2020.
Good size for position. Looks like he takes care of his body nutrition-wise. Stretching. I mean, the story tells itself by the way he moves and how composed he is. Halifax Prep squad, both teams here are first-year NPA programs. I really like what they're doing with the program at Halifax Prep just early on, watching how they're approaching their program from a development standpoint as well as just really competing. Here's Barry on the pull-up. Nice shot right there. And we talked about the little guards, what they got to be able to do, try and get transferable traits to the next level. The range is non-negotiable, but then the mid-range, being able to score at different levels, because chances are the smaller guards are not always going to get to the rim. They got to be able to score into three, they got to be able to score at NBA three, and they got to be able to score mid-range. Whether it's the floater game or it's the runner. Shout out my guy Kyle Julius. Educated me earlier today, telling me there is a big difference with the runner and the floater. One is 1 foot, one is off of 2 feet. Nevertheless, I repeat, do not sleep on the floater game. Raheem Sullivan knows what I'm talking about from Central Tech. Another pull-up from Barry. He's feeling it right now. Showing that mid-range Jimmy. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. A little bit more pressure here from HP. You know, as the season progresses, it's great to kind of learn about the different characters on the team, from the coaching staff to the players, and kind of watch their progression. Guys making adjustments, learning about the opposition as well. All the teams are scouting each other. They're all watching the live broadcasts. You know that.
And the live broadcast allows for exposure, sending out to all the coaches. It allows you to study film from a team perspective, to hold them accountable, and from an individual performance standpoint, to work on weaknesses. So, I mean, studying film top to bottom is going to help in every which way. Johnson tried for another triple, couldn't get it to go.
Less than a minute to go here, 2-point game. Good start to this one. Damjanovic guarded by Johnson. He's got to get lower. He had a little reach and got called for it. He's got to get lower defensively and eat up more space. Jimmy on the inbound to Damjanovic. Big fella, Alex Novcic.
Gotta finish that one, big man. No excuse on that. You gotta finish that one.
And Coach Ahmed Al-Osta makes a very casual statement. He says, Alex, make a layup, please. He got fortunate there that he drew a foul. He'll go to the line. Here's a big man, Elias, that can really stroke it from three. It doesn't take many shots, but we've definitely seen him be able to shoot it. He needs to really work on his body moving forward throughout the season, as far as just tightening up and just improving his stamina. Because he does got size, he does got skill, but that will definitely take him to the next level. The little things like nutrition and making sure that he's working out.
No, I'm with you on that.
Regularly. I mean, that's something that could be said for me personally, as you tell me regularly, but I love my food. I love my food, man. Food will never let you down when you need it.
Well, they say in many ways it's the keys to a man's heart.
Oh, amen to that. Final seconds here of the first quarter. 25-24. Brendan Muntu with it and the controls. Calls for a screen coming. Tony avoids it. Near turnover, and they do turn it over. Guys got to be very careful. There's been a lot of calls where guys are just careless of where they're stepping. 3 seconds left here. Damjanovic picks up, about to launch, and that will be it. 25-24. SJK and Hali Prep are in tight here, live from Ottawa.
Rothsay Netherwood, better known as RNS, will enter its second season in the National Preparatory Association. Head coach Damien Gay will need leadership from his 4 seniors in order to continue to build on the program's solid foundation, which now has some added pieces to it. NCAA prospect Shaheem Malcolm made the move from Toronto to New Brunswick, and the lengthy guard is sure to make a splash in his new home. While Canadian national champion Kellen Tynes continues to earn high praise as the highest level prospect out of Canada's East Coast since fellow guard and Dartmouth native Lindell Wigginton. Halifax Prep out of Nova Scotia is following in the footsteps of their maritime brethren RNS as they enter their first season in the NPA. They will be led by standout point guard Cairo Berry, who is expected to log heavy minutes as the engine of this team on both ends of the floor. Like any expansion team, growing pains are to be expected.
Second quarter action here. Halifax Prep and SJK. Good quarter for both. Getting some offense going. Got about 25 points each. on pace for the century mark. Damjanovic, Jimmy, back to Damjanovic, Jimmy for 3. That's off the mark, but Milan Roknic is showing some educated feet right there, combined with a nice hook. That's what we want to see from Roknic. Step up for his squad. He had some signs in the first quarter.
Drop step into a spin move, gets the finish. I like it. I like it.
Damjanovic. McGee gets the turnover, goes all the way, is blocked, but will keep possession.
Ryan Toney for the triple. The senior. Illegal screen is what they're going to call. Cairo Berry running the point here for Halifax Prep, a Halifax native. Good ball movement from Brandon Muntu to tie, but mishandled it.
Full court pressure. SJK breaks it for the easy possession off the mark, but SJK will go, SJK will go to the line.
Sasha Kovacs at the line for 2. Oh no, and the ref's gonna call it on the baseline actually. Damjanovic lines up.
Coach Elosta asking why it's not a shooting foul. I was thinking the same thing. I think you were as well. Like the energy from Barry. He's had himself a good start. And Roknic keeps pouring it in right now. I think he could be the difference in this game.
I mean, I'm glad to start seeing some flashes from him, but that's a guy that they're going to really need to be consistent. He's a primary piece for this team is Roknic.
Oh, I like
Kovacs. Long 2-ball.
Kovacs has been a guy that's stepped up as of late. Didn't really know or see too much of him in the first game, and previous to that, earlier this month. Nice move by Ryan Toney with the spin. Some high level skill set right there.
And we got Jaron Johnson checking back into the game here, as McGee will take a little bit of a rest. Very good options to have, both McGee and Johnson, both elite ball handlers and passers. McGee plays a very unselfish style, looks to set up his teammates before himself. Tied up at 30 here. 7.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Floater game.
That's getting old. That's getting old.
One's off the mark.
You're gonna need a new line.
No, that never gets old. That will be used from now until the death of me. The floater game, guys. It's a huge weapon. And my video guy loves it, so. Milan Roknic to Jimmy, 3-ball.
Shot has not been falling for Jimmy from the outside. Jimmy Omino, 2019 6'3" shooting guard. Just not able to get the shot to fall in this game. Wow. Beautiful pass there by Johnson. Again, a wrap around right around the defender. The precision and placement of this guy's passes have just been awesome. You can probably make a mixtape out of those just alone.
I'm really interested to see who from the coaches in the NPA is going to step up their dress code game. Because right now, Coach Ahmed, repping Canada basketball, previously had the full-out suit, which I was impressed by, Elias. And then previous to that, my guy Coach Jeffers at Central Tech saw him come correct
with the button-up.
With the button-up checkers.
Yeah, you don't see that from Jeffers too often, so must have been a special occasion or something.
This ain't chess, it's checkers this time. Special occasion, of course it's a special occasion, it's NPA.
Silly me. What was I thinking?
Get it together, E. Get it together. Damjanovic up top with it, tied up at 32. Less than 6 minutes to go. Milan Roknic with a nice pass. Novicic, Damjanovic. This sounds like a FIBA World Cup right here with Serbia, Team Serbia playing.
I like the work with the accents though. You're starting to get better than that and get a little more versatile with your linguistics.
Come on, Eli. You know I come correct when it comes to my last names. Roknic, Damjanovic, Novicic. Full court pressure is off. Novicic. Baseline, Jimmy. Plus the foul. Count it.
And that might have got him going. Look at the look on his face.
Yeah, he's
ready to go.
Got some tenacity on his face right now. That's what that looks like. If you had to take a picture, a photo of tenacity, that's exactly what it would look like.
No, Tarek, just to clarify here, you can't have tenacity on your face.
Yes, you can.
You are tenacious.
If you listen to what I said, if you took a photo
before that, you said he has tenacity on his face.
Yes, correct.
That makes no sense at all.
And then I followed up with, if you have a photo of tenacity, his face is what it would look like.
Okay.
Bingo.
We'll just have to Google that.
Can we get some help here, guys? Guys watching online, we appreciate your attendance. And if you guys can comment in the YouTube whose side you're on, Tarek or Elias, that'd be greatly appreciated. In the meantime, we'll take a timeout with a 36-32 game, 5:20 remaining in the half.
British Columbia Christian Prep brings the most international flavor of any team in the National Preparatory Association, and with that comes an air of mystery surrounding this team. Veteran head coach Doug Dowell returns many of last year's players, which will give him a rotation of highly skilled players with prep experience already under their belt. Team leader and NCAA prospect Marajan Obad is expected to star on the West Coast this season, and he's joined on the front line by fellow big man Sammy Hunter from the Bahamas. Hunter spent his summer playing with the national team of his homeland and also took part in the NBA's Basketball Without Borders, collecting NCAA offers from coaches who love his skill in the paint. The Panthers have added even more depth with young players from across the globe looking to leave their mark on the Canadian basketball landscape, and there's no better place than the NPA. The Notre Dame Hounds out of Wilcox, Saskatchewan quickly went from underdogs to up-and-comers in the NPA's debut season, and they continue to trend upwards thanks to their roster's evolution. Carter Kahinka is a prototypical stretch 5, but he has added to his inside game.
5 minutes to go in the half. SJK being faced with zone defense of Halifax Prep. Demjanovic, spin move. Novcic, he's cooking. The bigs are finally starting to step up.
They have been activated. Cairo Berry on the crossover.
Hit him with the wop. Move back to Jaron Johnson. Tony from 3. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Steal by Demjanovic. Behind the back he goes all the way to the rim and he gets it again. Not the fastest, not the biggest, not the most athletic, but the kid gets it done. Brandon Muntu, nice pass on the cutter. Loose ball, finally SJK picks it up. And here comes SJK, nice outlet to Demjanovic. And the finish.
Does a good job protecting the ball on his way to the basket. Shields it with his body and keeps it tucked in.
And SJK's getting a little bit of momentum right now. Extended it to a 6-point lead. Ruknic on the attack, oh my lord. Misses the bunny. Big boys are working. Attack by Barry. He's having maybe his best game so far in the NPA. He's been aggressive. It looks like, Elias, you're getting some support from our viewers here. Surgeon Pejicic is on your side. Cindy McNeil seems to be on the fence right now, but she's leaning towards my side.
Cindy, we follow each other on Instagram. Come on now. We're past this. We're friends. Well, if it's the same Cindy.
Well, hey, I mean, we're going to get back to the game momentarily here. 3:30 left. Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. Who's
and
the new guy? Milan Ruknic, finally playing up to his potential. We need to see more of that because this team will go as far as he takes them. Demjanovic has played his part, and the bigs got to come correct on a day-to-day basis. I look at Ruknic as a CIS caliber kid. Depending on how he develops, if he decides to take another, like a post-grad year, or comes out this year, he does have the size, he does have pretty good athleticism. He just needs to tighten it up a little bit.
And with this game,
it's gonna come
down to how much gas they have left in the tank.
That timeout will lead us to the 3-minute mark. 44-39. Halifax up by 5. Take a short break and be back to the action live from Ottawa.
But there is no better experience than being thrown into the NPA fire. The St. Laurent Express has a storied basketball history that they're looking to bring to the NPA. The next wave of Quebec talent includes Ben Datro, who can score in bunches from every spot of the floor and is always a threat to simply take over a game. While the man in the middle for St. Lo goes by the name of Trayvon Minot. Armed with the hard work mentality needed to clean up the mess in the paint, Minot also has the skill and soft touch to get buckets on his own. The Express boasts a roster full of high-character type players that are needed to vie for a national title, and they all have that same chip on their shoulder that Quebec ballers do. Everyone needs to respect the Q. The team to beat out of the Northeast Division is the same squad the entire NPA is gunning for. Canada Top Flight Academy is the reigning, defending, and first ever high school aged national basketball champions in Canadian basketball history. Much of the same team returns to the floor this season, including a more physically mature Moon Reith, who is now...
Back we are. Still 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Starting to see signs of life from Milan Roknic. Another one for Milan Roknic.
You do not seem to amaze me, Tark. You take lines from everybody and claim them as your own.
I'm an innovator. I'm an inventor and an innovator. You got to mix it up sometimes.
You let me know once you've invented it, because the last time I checked...
We're not going to go there because everybody knows language. Everybody knows. Even Cindy McNeil knows, who's on my side, as it's been confirmed now. 46-39, 2:26 to go.
I'm disappointed. I'm starting to lose faith in humanity as the games go by.
That's a little bit too deep.
Brandon Montu almost picking up the steal here.
Jimmy. Oh. Picked his pocket. Clean.
Good job
Barry.
by Ty running the lane. Following up with Cairo.
Hey, you gotta give credit to Cairo Barry right now. Playing like the MVP right now. Defense, offense, hitting his shots.
I actually like the addition of DeAndre Fordyce, the 2020 number 8 for SJK. He's actually one of their best ball handlers, and I think that he'll lend a hand to Damjanovic. Although he is young and lacks quite a bit of experience at this level, he could come handy. And checking back into the game is Sasha Kovacs. Coming in for Fordyce. Walking across your screen in the blue is the St. Laurent Express out of Montreal. Another one of the teams that has truly made this league national, connecting the dots all across the country. The National Preparatory Association, with 13 teams on the season. A lot of interest around the country.
Nice finish there by Montu, courtesy of Barry. Coach Ahmed Al-Usta frustrated right now. Trying to get his troops in check. (46-43), just under a minute to go here in the first half. It's been back and forth all game. Biggest lead being 6. Cairo Barry on the line makes the first.
Hey, get right into it.
Blitz him.
And Halifax Prep could just taste the win. They need one to just, boost their confidence past what it already is. They already hold and play with quite a bit of it.
Jimmy knocks down the triple. Here comes Muntu, lefty. Milan Roknic, he's been hot for the first half. Loses it there. Here comes Ryan Toney. Bounce pass. Barry. Barry keeps it rolling. Right place, right time. 19 seconds to go.
Texas!
5 seconds on the clock. Last possession of the half. Nice kick out, Jimmy. Could it be another one? No, sir. That will be it for the half. 49-46. SJK leads Halifax Prep.
Rep by rep, you push yourself. Effort is only half the battle. Doubt sets in. Why do you do it? Is it worth it? The lights turn on. All your questions are answered. Rep by rep, you push yourself.
I wanna fly, can you take me far away? Give me a star to reach for, tell me what it takes, and I'll go so high, my feet won't touch the ground. Just hitch my wings and pull the strings. I bought these dreams that all fall down.
The nice thing about him is he's a basketball player. There is no position defined for him. He's learning the skills. He's learning the skills of playing the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the guard at all the positions.
The last thing what makes RJ Jr. so special is that he wants to be special. He's willing to do the work to become special. He's open to learning. He has his flaws like everyone else does, but he recognizes his flaws. He knows he can keep working on them. And he's never satisfied even with his own strengths as a basketball player. So that's what makes him special.
Number 7, Rowan Barrett Jr.
Oh, that's my boy. He never stopped seeking to amaze me. And when we were in the game, like, I could tell what he was gonna do. I was like, he's my boy. I'm gonna just let him, show out. So, but the chemistry's really good. We're roommates right now and everything. So.
I call him a professional scorer. That's definitely going to translate to the NBA game. He's just relentless on getting around you and getting to the basket and getting to the foul lines. And that's what I respect about him. I'm a huge fan of his.
That's all. Okay, showtime.
RJ making the splash takes his rightful throne at number 1, and I think regardless of class, he would have been there anyways. Maybe even number 1 in North America, let alone the Canadian rankings. Was the leading scorer in the most competitive league in the world at the amateur level. At 6'7", a guy that's playing 2 and 1, that's a deadly combination.
I mean, I think the first thing with RJ is he has goals, right? He has goals that he's set out, that he's driving for. So that's always great, right? Because all you ever really have to do is continue to focus him towards the goals he set. If you're trying to achieve the things that he is, I think that he's a hard worker, and a consistent worker, and oh, here he comes. Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Being number 1 in the world, there's no conversation about it, there's no discussion about it. But what's next for you? What are your goals?
Pretty simple, go to college and go to the NBA and be a star.
Division 6 has a new member in the courtyard, with Roe Russell bringing Crestwood Prep onto the scene with the type of big-time talent you would expect with top players from every upcoming class. That includes Jacoby Neath, a shifty and athletic guard who is a treat to watch and is firmly entrenched in the top 5 of the class of 2019. With a roster full of young blood with tons of potential, Crestwood Prep will be a team to watch in their expansion season in the NPA. One of last year's heavyweights of the Southeast Division was the Toronto Basketball Academy, who will look to continue their winning ways with their trademark run-and-gun style. Known for their length and athleticism, TBA graduated some of their stars from last season, but they have talent waiting in the wings. As fan favorite Cordell Vera exits the stage, in steps Marcus Masters, a high IQ point guard that can also shoot out the lights. While the loss of Jace Colley will be filled by the reliable Patrick Emlin and Amir Golizadeh, two key players from last year's squad who have been waiting for their time to shine. TBA is all about highly skilled, interchangeable players that give this team the type of depth that will pose problems for all of their opponents. The unofficial T-Dot division of the NPA wouldn't be complete without a grinded-out, aggressive blue-collar squad, and the Central Tech Blues are just that. While returning seniors DeAndre Reed and Rashawn Chambers do bring some size to the front line, C-Tech will be looking to their veteran savvy and basketball IQ to overcome size disadvantages at other spots on the floor. This jump man-backed, Kevin Jeffers coach team will have many weapons at their disposal with a team-first mentality, keeping them in every game that they play in the National Preparatory Association. SJK out of Waterloo, Ontario will have some size on a roster that will take some time to come together. Milan Rauknic will be in a starring role for a team that will bring grit and toughness to every game that they play, while Alex Novicic has some great footwork and range to put on display with his 6'7" frame. Beast Prep stands for Basketball Evolution Academic Specialized Training. Combo guard Matt Green will be running the show for the crew out of Hamilton, Ontario, and will be pushing the tempo.
Back for second half action here with two new teams in the NPA, Halifax Prep and SJK, and I'm joined with Coach Tony House of Canada Top Flight Academy, national champion Tony House.
Elias, a pleasure.
Always, sir. Thank you for hosting this wonderful event as well.
That's a no-brainer for the city, for the league. It's a pleasure, and it's great to see such great talents and great programs. And as I said, the community here has embraced it, and yeah, it's going to be good.
And you know, with the leadership at various administrative spots across the country, there's been quite some interest to expand for next year, and we know that the league is looking at doing just that. How do you feel that it's been going in terms of connecting the dots from coast to coast?
Yeah, well, I think it's a process, and I think you don't want to expand too soon, too fast. You want to do your due diligence on programs like the programs we do in our league. So I think, you know, they have to prove themselves, we have to prove ourselves, and I think we're doing it. I know it's been a popular, you know, yourself, lots of inquiries. You've been around the country. You know that the emergence of prep schools is not going to slow down in any stretch, and I think, you know, we've added some quality programs, and it's a big country out there. So you know, there's lots of cities and areas that I know would love to be involved and would flourish in a prep situation.
For sure, and from my travel experience across the country, and just my job is to identify talent. From that process, I've seen that each province holds enough talent to have their own prep program, and then in some places more than one.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it's a numbers game. It's a population game. You look at Ontario, 13 million people. Quebec, about 8 million plus. British Columbia, hovering around 5 or 6, I think. So the bigger the population is, the more teams that you can attain. But now the culture is different also in each province. So there's skill everywhere. There's talent everywhere. But like you said, it's a process, and that needs to be managed.
No, and I think we've got, you have to have the infrastructure. I think, you know, you learn as you go, but we have some pretty, you know, well-versed, experienced people in both basketball and in business. So when you go to expand, you know, as I said, it's not a rush to expand. Let's do it right. Let's do it with the right people. And I think thus far, I think we've got something pretty special being built.
I couldn't agree more with you, man. Back to in-game action. Jaron Johnson launches the three. Hit the back of the rim a little too much on it. Seeing a lot more life out of Milan Roknic in this game. SJK lead extends to 7, 56-49.
It comes down to size, right, with the SJK, and kind of exacting their will on Halifax. But that Halifax prep team, love them. They just play right to the buzzer. They don't quit. The coach doesn't quit, and I think they're establishing a name here.
Yeah, and I think Coach Marcus, you know, a lot of the energy from these guys, it comes from him. Like you said, if he never quits, then, you know, when they're down 20 and he's still going at them, then it's going to force everybody else that's on the bench to have that same culture. So they are developing a very strong culture there. I think with some, you know, with some pieces next year that add a little bit of size, that could really help them.
For sure, and him and Ming are well connected in that Halifax, you know, landscape. The Nova Scotia land. We know Nova Scotia is a basketball province.
Absolutely.
You know, those gold medals don't just come by fluke.
Yep.
So starts with coaching, grassroots. You know, Ming and Marcus doing a great job. So I'm really excited to have Halifax Prep. It's a first-year program, a last minute, and props to them for taking on the challenge.
And I know my man Coulter Simmons is working on something as well. You know, we just got to make sure that from an administrative standpoint that everything is in check. And it would be really special to have two programs out of there if the talent is able to, you know, to have some longevity and stay within the province. SJK turning it up here in the third quarter. Winding down to the 7-minute mark of the third, 62-49. We will take a short break and return.
A squad that promises no easy games. The basketball culture in Hamilton is one that is often in the shadows of the basketball-loving fans in the city, but that will start to change with the new addition to the NPA. GTA Prep struggled in their debut season in the National Preparatory Association, but former professional head coach David Cooper has made sure that will not happen again. Joshua Houghton has the type of bounce that has fans sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for something special. But don't let the hops fool you into thinking he's a one-dimensional player. His combination of high IQ and explosive skill set allows him to make everyone around him better. That will mean great things to the standouts from last season, including DeAndre Pierre, who has never had a problem finishing at the rim.
Woo! DeAndre Pierre all over the rim.
And we're back in the third quarter. Halifax Prep trailing 62-49. Always managed to keep themselves within game just from their grit.
No, basketball is a game of runs. Obviously, SJK is on one, and we'll see if they can respond and stop the bleeding.
And Cairo Berry, Brendan Muntu, and Jaron Johnson has been the trio, getting a lot of help from their senior as well. With the ball in his hands right now is Tony. Julius McGee lines up for three, bangs it.
Great move, coast to coast. Brandon Muntu. Love the kid, he's a lefty.
Yeah, and that's a Calgary product that's made his way all the way to Halifax. As soon as he found out that there was a prep opportunity available, he wanted to take that on. And Calgary, in my opinion, is a sleeping giant. There's an unbelievable amount of talent between the city itself, between Calgary and Edmonton. You know, we found over the years that a lot of the kids end up transferring to the States, but now having this option is going to be, you know, very pivotal, I think, for the game as a whole.
Yeah, and we've seen kids transfer from the U.S. back to Canada as a result of the stronger programs, equal coaching, staying at home.
And in the gym right now, we have 3 NCAA programs, with many more filing in over the course of this weekend. Tulane has just checked in. The Tulane Green Waves actually have a Canadian on their roster right now, Shaquan Barrett, who's a member of the 2017 class, the top 25 kid, playing PG for the Green Waves. Now, Tony, you guys got a pretty big game ahead, 7:15 against Crestwood.
Yeah, no, hey, they're all big here. I mean, if you take a night off, you're going to get beat in this league. I don't care who you are. So, Ro Russell obviously comes in, you know, with pedigree. Obviously, great recruiting class. They're talented. They're athletic. So, no, you got to play. You got to play your best basketball if you're going to get wins in this league.
Yep. And that game could be the game of the entire week, of the full 5 days. It's going to be competitive all the way in. You guys match up pretty well. Length, size, athleticism.
Yeah, I mean they come at you full force, pressure, zone. He plays a lot. He plays a lot of different things. So it's how our guys are going to handle pressure. A lot of it's going to fall upon in the hands of Aiden Warnholtz and Alston Harris and Kaleem Zarazin.
How is Aiden, by the way? I know he banged his head on the floor yesterday.
No, he's fine. He'll still have his 94 average intact, I'm sure.
Good, good. That Amara Ba really shocked us yesterday. Came out of nowhere down the lane.
He shocked you. He shocked us.
Yeah.
No, we've seen that in practice. He's by far, you know, he might be by far our best raw athlete. And you saw evidence of that last night.
Julius McGee lining up for another 3, gets it to go. And again, the Halifax Prep refusing to go down without a fight. Brandon Muntu secures the board and pushes it ahead. Jaron Johnson a little shaken up.
Coach Marcus voicing his displeasure, and I think he's got a valid point.
Sweet move by Roknic. Backing down and spinning off of it.
Shoot it again, guys.
Johnson for a triple, followed right after McGee.
Can't give him time and space.
No, sir. SJK getting some help from Kovacs. He's come in and made a couple. No legs in that one for Johnson.
And these longer games, that extra quarter, right? 40-minute games.
Oh yeah, it takes a toll.
Regular high school, 32 minutes, and with only 7 guys on the Halifax Prep, and he's logging a lot of minutes.
McGee lines up for another one. Oh, almost had it. Jimmy Amino handling the rock for SJK. Doesn't use the screen. And it's going to go out of bounds and back to Halifax Prep. Damjanovic, the senior, checking back in. Oh, excuse me, the junior. He's got one more year to go after this. Here's Milan Roknic on top, back to Damjanovic. Kovacs looks for the three. That'll go off the feet of Julius McGee and back to SJK. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. 16-point lead now for SJK, the largest of the game. Now, Tony, from your team, have you guys felt any pressure, or have the kids felt any pressure to, you know, when you're the champion from last year, you're in defense mode now. Everybody's coming after you guys. I would argue that you're better than you were last year from a roster standpoint.
We are deeper. The kids know that, you know, every game they're coming at us. It's their, you know, I guess we're the benchmark from last year. But, you know, we've also said that the trophy that sits in our room, it's not ours anymore. So
until the
it's
end of the
not ours.
season.
We're just holding on to it, but it's not ours anymore. Season started, so it's up for grabs. Now, we did add a national championship banner in our gym, so it's to honor the older guys, but it's also to kind of focus in on a reminder as to what we're playing for and how difficult it was to get it. So we've had a lot of guys back from last year, which will bring a lot of experience to that. But I think the boys know that the target is on our back and we have to play that much harder. So.
I'm sitting here with Coach Tony House, national champion from last year, looking to defend the title with his boys. Again, a deeper roster, but the guys that they're going to be playing this evening, make sure you stay tuned. Probably the game of the entire week at 7:15, Crestwood and CTA. We will take a short break and return in just a few.
Bembry handling it, cross court to Pangos for three, and Kevin knocks it down.
I read a book called Outliers, and it talked about why people need people around them to take advantage of in order to succeed at the highest levels. That same summer, Kevin was chosen as the youngest member of the national team. Kevin might be an outlier. Kevin was playing for A-Game Hoops, which is a team that Kyle Julius ran, and Kevin was on the team as a high school player. And I was coaching at the University of Guelph, and Kevin was lighting us up. And I'm loving this because I've loved Kevin.
Fourth quarter action, 20-point lead SJK over Halifax Prep. Followed after this game, we'll see the first bit of Beast Prep out of Hamilton as they take on the Central Tech Blues, a contender for a national champion. Central Tech last night going down to the wire. Raheem Sullivan getting it done at the buzzer.
That was the game of the day, absolutely.
Yeah.
Two very good teams.
Roknic rolls it in. An LBA, you know, a team that was a finalist last year, have lost a lot of pieces, and Coach Provenzano seems to have made the necessary adjustments to, you know, to come back and and be worthy of contention. But of course, a lot of teams are also honing in on the fact that Okai Jamgos is the best shooter in the league. And when you stick a body on him and try to take him out of the game, that creates a lot of havoc for LBA.
No, and he's young. He's, you know, his body hasn't been able to, let's say, mature. So guys are going to try to bully him and just manhandle him. He's been able to handle it absolutely. Very mentally tough. Doesn't need a lot of time and space to get that shot off, but I would have to say he is definitely one of the elite shooters in the league.
I mean, you've seen a lot of shots go in from the three-point line, but when you look at his, it doesn't hit rim. It's just the mechanics, the arc on it. The form is always the same. The accuracy is always the same. It's incredible. And he already has interest from a lot of Ivy League programs. Long three ball off the mark for SJK. Jimmy Omino gets fouled going up for two. Here's Jaron Johnson, check it back in. McGee will take a breather. And Johnson's been leading the team in scoring as well as assists. Him and Brendan Muntu. Muntu started off very hot to start the season in his games against RNS. And since then, it's kind of been slowed down here. Now, Tony, talk to me a little bit about your guys' schedule you got coming up. Both, I mean, everyone's well aware of the schedule for the NPA with the sessions and the interdivision games that you guys will have at St. Laurent. However, what about the American schedule? I know there's some big teams on the radar.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy month of December. So next weekend we go up to Massachusetts to play Northfield Mount Herman, and you've already warned me that they are a legit squad.
Oh my goodness, yes.
With Noah Kirkwood, a local kid, and they've got Max Lorca, Nate Lazuski. I mean, they are loaded, but you know, that's what we want. We want to play that level of competition. So Northfield Mount Herman, then Blair Academy, and then we go play in the PSA Showcase, and we play the whole school Hill. We're off a week. Then we go to the St. Andrews Showcase and play 4 games in Rhode Island against some great competition. Then on Boxing Day, we go down to the Governor's Challenge in Maryland and play 4 games.
It does not stop in December.
It does not stop, and I'm trying to stay married as well. So. But a coach's wife for this long. But no, I mean, this is what we sign up for.
Yeah.
There's going to be...
And she knows what she signed up for.
No, she's a great gal.
That's probably why I can't find one.
Yeah. But, and then in the new year, we go to Spire Showcase in Ohio. And then February 23rd, we play Oak Hill Academy.
Fair enough. Wow. Well, that's a loaded schedule.
Yeah, we'll see where we're at. As we'll see how close we are or how distant we are from the creme de la creme.
And I got a chance to watch some of the teams that you're talking about, both Blair and Northfield, over the weekend. I actually just got back from Connecticut, where I was at the National Prep Showcase that's hosted by the New England Recruiting Report. Adam Finkelstein puts on a great event. And that Northfield Mount Herman team, you know all the names that you mentioned. Lasuski, committed to Notre Dame, big-time shooter at 6'8". Max Lorca, still another year to go, 6'9", athletic center forward. And then Noah Kirkwood, headed to Harvard, and he's a problem on his own. So this matchup's going to be very, very interesting.
We're looking forward to the challenge.
By the way, I'm not sure if you know this, but there's a good chance that I'm coming up with you guys. I was actually invited by your manager.
Nice. Anytime, man. You get your butt here Friday morning.
Oh, you're not sending the jet?
I can't. No, it's busy. It's going to pick up Leo Routens.
Oh, okay. Because I thought, Canada top flight,
Yeah. Next year.
Good rebound by Ty. Unable to get it to go off of 2 attempts.
Also taking the kids to the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield on Saturday. You ever been?
Yes, I have on multiple occasions. Yep, I feel like it's anybody who plays basketball should go at least one time. That's all you really need. You see it one time, you see everything that you need to see. I'm looking across the way at Coach Doug Stewart of Tulane. Looks like he's got a permatan. Louisiana.
Rubbing it in. He's rubbing it in.
Oh, yeah, and they just came back from Jamaica, too. From a team trip in Jamaica.
Nice. Some definite distractions in New Orleans.
Yeah, no kidding. Party City.
Yeah.
91-68, this lead continuing to stretch for SJK. Looks like they'll probably reach the century mark. Brandon Muntu lines up for a triple. Be out of bounds. Halifax Prep. Coach Marcus Eaton calls a timeout. We will return right after this.
We've traveled across the country and back. 6 years running. Canada's basketball talent blossoms right before our eyes. From coast to coast. It's our job to bring it to the light. No gimmicks, just hard work on the hardwood. Who will step up to the plate this summer? Who will make their game undeniable and challenge every man in front of him? Game will speak. We've traveled across the country.
Pangos will shoot another three, his third triple already.
I'm a retired teacher. I coached at a whole bunch of different levels throughout the player delivery system in Canada. Involved myself at the provincial level as head coach of Team Ontario from 1994 to 97. Coached at the university level, University of Guelph for 7 years, high school coach, and I'm now an author. And I'm an author of a book called Can't Miss. Story about Kevin.
4:45 to go in this afternoon game here between SJK and Halifax Prep. Halifax Prep going strong, trying to get their first win here in the session. Brandon Muntu, one of the bright spots for Halifax. Muntu by way of Calgary. Got to see him on the showcase circuit, the NPH National Showcase Circuit, where we've identified countless amounts of talent that have later went on to play at the U Sport and NCAA levels, as well as JUCO and the CCAA.
Well, he's that emotional leader. He's bringing some experience and some enthusiasm and emotion, just keeping things positive.
He definitely is. He definitely is. He's a high character kid and with a good academic standing, and you know, he holds himself accountable and holds a high standard for himself, and I think that that's, you know, where it stems from.
No frustration with the younger guys either.
Yep, definitely. Good point. It takes a certain character to be able to handle that, especially when, you know, haven't been many wins. 2 points away from the 100 mark is SJK, 98-69, just under 4 minutes. Right after this game, Central Tech and Beast Prep from Hamilton, Ontario will take the floor for warm-ups. Jaron Johnson behind the back, nice dime. Ty runs into the big man. Jaron Johnson on the break. He's got numbers to Smith from the wing. Smith recovers. And Jaron Johnson, no hesitation, but also no legs. Looks like they're running out of gas. Played major minutes so far here in this event.
No quit in Halifax, although I think a lot of these turnovers are just
fatigue.
Due to fatigue.
Yeah, I can see that.
For sure.
So SJK is going to pick up a win here on day 3. And they'll play again tomorrow morning against St. Laurent. That'll be a tough one for them and a very good game. They'll also play Central Tech, which will be an extremely tough one for them. I'm not sure that they'll be able to handle the full court pressure that the Tech Blues bring. I don't know, there's something intimidating about Central Tech when they throw on that press and just how loud they are, and they got a persona.
Yeah, and that's part of the mental part. Can you handle that?
Everybody swears that they're, you know, a next level player. Everybody swears that they are an NCAA prospect, but all that's involved when you make a list of everything involved in being that level of a player, I think there's a moment of realization. There's a checklist. If you do that checklist, a lot of these kids will realize that they are actually nowhere near being deserving of a full scholarship, being deserving of a school paying upwards of $30,000 a year.
As a coach, we'll practice 6 versus 5.
Yeah.
That's what is going to simulate that type of pressure. The good teams, and maybe sometimes 7 versus 5.
I hear you. Smith with the fake, good fundamentals. Tony gets it to go as it rings around the rim.
Jimmy, just beat him, go.
40 seconds to go here in this game. 101-73. SJK got it in the bag. We'll be wrapping up today around 9:30. Hopefully we make it out of here by 9:30.
You never. Last night, well, we played the last one, maybe 40 minutes behind, but it is what it is.
Yeah, sometimes there's some technicals thrown in some games and different things that'll slow it down.
Yeah, the odd one.
Yeah, or the odd 7. Yesterday we had a bunch of technicals thrown. Today's been a lot quieter than that perspective. And that's the end of the game. SJK 104-73. Stay tuned. We'll have Central Tech and Beast Prep out of Hamilton. 3:45 game. They'll warm up for about 15 minutes and we'll get going.